Hello everyone, it's Evans Racing here and welcome back to another F1 2022 mod career as Kevin Magnussen in the Formula 1 Haas car, where here today we will be in Netherlands for the Dutch Grand Prix. So without anything else to do, let's jump straight into qualifying. And now we jump to our outer lap now, where we're coming through the last corner, now onto straight. And we go across the line and we're going to speed things up, because only going to be our bank lap, just to get used to the track conditions and how the track goes. So we're going to come through this long right hander, now into left, now into this long right hander, into a long left hander now, straight, DRS opens. Into a quick right left, and now into a double right hander through the bank corner, and then we're across the line for a 1 minute 12.7, which currently sees us in P5. But now we come onto our second and final qualifying flying lap, where we brake just before the 50-meter mark, braking down into second gear. Now accelerating as early as you can into 6th gear now. Now back down to 4th. Now into second round here. Get the power down as nice and early as soon as you hit that apex. Now we're up but almost by 2.5 tenths almost. Braking, just going over the curb a little bit on the outside here. And then on a little bit on the inside. Does untilt the car a little bit, but we keep it under control.
Drop to P10.
And now we've got DRS open on the straight now, going flat out, braking when you hit that curb, when you start the curb. Now into second gear around here, get the power down as nice and early as you can. And now we go into the double right hander, going flat out now. DRS opened, and we go across the line for 1 minute 11.8. So this is the starting grid for today's race. We've got Max Verstappen, who's on pole with Charles Leclerc alongside him. Then we have Carlos Sainz, Sergio Perez, Hamilton, ourselves, Magnussen in P6, Russell, Joe Guan Yu, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Lando Norris, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Stroll, Albon, Vettel, Latifi, and on the last place we got our teammate Mick Schumacher, who actually didn't finish qualifying. This is our strategy for today. We'll be pitting around lap 8, and we're going to start on the soft compound tyre to the medium compound tyre, and we're also going to take some fuel out of the car to make our car as light as possible. And now we go to the 5 red lights, and off we go for the Dutch Grand Prix. It's Max Verstappen who gets off to a really good start. He gets the inside line. We've made up no positions, I believe, not quite yet. As we come through here, and right now the safety car is, well, the virtual safety car is now out. This is the reason for it. So it's our teammate Mick Schumacher who gets off to an alright start from the grid. He comes down the line, he brakes way too late, and he goes straight into the back of Sebastian Vettel, and that's our teammate out of the race. And now we switch on to the end of lap 3, going on to lap 4 now, where the safety car is coming into the pit lane. So we are currently warming up our tyres, because as you can see on the bottom right, they're very cold. our tyres and engine is very cold, and we've left it too late to really warm it up. But as you can see with our hands, we are getting as much temperature into the tyres as we can. We're going alongside him, but obviously we're not going to overtake him. And then we're going to go flat out now, but we have to back off, but we back off too much, and we've kind of ruined our restart. But we're right behind the Mercedes now, so can we make an overtake in the next few laps? We drop it down into second gear, keeping it very tight to the curb. Now coming up to the outside bit now, flat out, ERS being deployed. And let's see if we can overtake Lewis Hamilton. Now coming up to the long left-hander now. Going on to the straight now. ERS being deployed. No DRS because it's been a full safety car, so we have to wait another 3 laps for it. So this is all down to pure speed, straight line speed, and ERS deployment. And as we go through, and as we sort of drift through there, the safety car is out for the second time this race already. And as you can hear with our, as you can hear, Jeff, our race engineer, is telling us to box this lap, which is what we are going to do. So we come in to put on the new medium compound tyre. Now I was looking at the replay and I couldn't find what caused it. It just seems to be an issue with the game. The game was like, you know what, let's bring out a safety car, because there was no incident or accident or any sort of contact or anything that was on track to even cause a safety car. But we will take it any day of the week, as we have, as it will bring us closer to Lewis Hamilton.
Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember.
So now we jump on to the end of lap 6 now, where the safety car is coming in for the second time in this race already, as we are right behind Perez in P14. As Perez got held up by Max Verstappen coming in probably. So now we go to the restart now. We go flat out, ERS being deployed. And then we're going to brake, we're very late, we're going to go down it inside of Sergio Perez, keeping it nice and tight to the curb. Almost losing the rear end because a lot of wheel spin there. Braking much more later, going around the outside. Doesn't quite work out, but we're going to use ERS and we get a much more better exit than Sergio Perez. But we just have to slightly back out of it because it's going to get narrower the track. And now George Russell tries to go around the outside, but we block him off. So we stay in P14 and block any and block him from behind. We thought about diving down the inside, but we thought better off. And now we come through the long left-hander now, almost making contact with his gearbox. Now we're going flat out now, and we also have to wait another 3 laps now because the full safety car came out. So it's another couple of laps. We go down the inside now, Sergio Perez. We get it inside line, we make a little bit of contact and we cut him off. And we go up into P13, and as you can see, I was looking at my MFD to see if we actually got any damage, but luckily we didn't. And then we go flying around the outside of Nicholas Latifi, just like he wasn't even there. And we're up into P12 now. And now George Russell is trying to make an overtake on Sergio Perez. Can he do it around the outside? He's going a long way around. And yes, he can. No, he can't. Sergio Perez is putting up a good fight, but George Russell has the inside line, and he should have the place. And yes, he does. So that's George Russell up into P14 now, and Sergio Perez down to P13. However, Carlos Sainz is now overtaking him now. Carlos Sainz goes around the outside of Sergio Perez, and that's Sergio Perez down to P16 now, and Carlos Sainz up into P15 now. And now we're going flat out here, where we're going to make the same overtake as we did on Latifi, on Sebastian Vettel. Now it's just a drag race down to the line, to the first corner. We brake much more later. We go around the outside of the 4-time world champion, and we go up into P11. We are flying on these new set of mediums than everyone else. And now we've got Ricardo, who's next in line for an overtake. So let's see how quickly we can overtake him. We jump on later on in on lap 9, where we are flying past Daniel Ricciardo, round the outside, DRS opens, ERS being deployed, and we're up into P10. Well, now we're up into P5, as the people who didn't pit during the safety car are now pitting now. So we're up into P5, and as you can see, we're going right around the outside of Alexander Albon now, and we're going to go past Lance Stroll as we try and make as much as we can with the slipstream. We brake very late into the first corner, and as you can see at the top left, we are leading the Dutch Grand Prix. We are currently leading the Dutch Grand Prix in a Haas car. And then we jump on to lap 11 now, where Carlos Sainz is trying to make an overtake on us, but we cut him off and it doesn't quite work out for him. So we stay in P1, and Max Verstappen is flying past Esteban Ocon down the inside, and that's Max Verstappen up into P6. And he will be trying to fly his way through here as quick as he can to get that race win for his home Grand Prix. And now on the next lap now, he goes around the outside of Zhou Guanyu, just as if he's not even there. So that's Max Verstappen up into P5. Next is his teammate Sergio Perez. And now we're coming through the banker corner now. As you can see, Max Verstappen's got the fastest lap at this moment of time. And now Carlos Sainz is trying to have another go at us. He goes down the inside, but we're not having any of it. We want to fight for this race win. So we're going to stick it around the outside, and we're going to cut him off into this corner, and we stay in P1. And we look at the replay now as Max Verstappen is fighting his teammate Sergio Perez. He goes around the outside. He's going to have the better grip and better traction because he's on fresher tyres. And that's Max Verstappen up into P4 now. And next in line is George Russell in the Mercedes. He will be next to overtake. And now Zhou Guanyu, and now on lap 14 now, Zhou Guanyu trying to make the same move as what Max Verstappen did on Sergio Perez. He goes around the outside. And he's still there. They're still wheel to wheel now. And Zhou Guanyu's got the inside line. And he's made the overtake on Sergio Perez. And he's up into P5 now. Zhou Guanyu's getting into the action as well. And now we come through the last corner, the banked corner. We got DRS being deployed. We're now on lap 16 now, out of 18, where Carlos Sainz is trying to make a move on us once again. He goes down the inside line, but we stick it around the outside still, and we're gonna try and do what we did earlier. We're gonna try and cut him off before the corner, and we're still in P1. And now we're gonna look at the replay now, where as we made try to defend our position, Max Verstappen goes down the inside of George Russell. He has the inside line. They're still wheel to wheel now, and that's Max Verstappen up into P3 now. So Max Verstappen is now on the podium, and next in line is Carlos Sainz. And now we come through the last few corners of lap 16 now to go on to lap 17. But we're trying to keep Carlos Sainz at bay as much as we can. We're slowing down as much as we can. And as you can see, Carlos Sainz has just gone flying past us like he's not even there. So that's Carlos Sainz up into P1. And yeah, there's nothing we could do. We couldn't even defend for that position because he just had the slipstream, the DRS and the ERS. So there's no point of fighting him. So now we're going to defend against Max Verstappen for second place. As you can see, you can just hear in the car, it just doesn't have that extra horsepower to get up into 8th gear on the straights. And now Max Verstappen is literally right behind us. He's touching our gearbox almost. He's only 2 tenths behind us. And he's going to have DRS and ERS on us. And he's going to fly past us, and there's nothing we can do about it. We can't even brake later into the next corner. And that's Max Verstappen up into P2 now. And can Max Verstappen get Carlos Sainz on the final lap of the race? So we're going to have to settle for P3 now, and we're going to defend as much as we can. We're going to fight all we can for P3 against George Russell, who's only 6 tenths behind us. We've got DRS on Max Verstappen, but we do not have that straight line speed to overtake him. So we're going to have to stay in P3 because Max Verstappen is already gaining on us already, and it's only been a couple of corners. So it's now on the final lap of the race. We've been overtaken twice, and we've bottled the race win, and now we're fighting for P3. So it's still a podium finish, it's still a decent race, but it could have been P1. And now we come into this right-hander now, into third, into fourth, into fifth. Now come through the long left-hander in third gear. And as you can see, Max Verstappen is already 2.1 seconds in front of us, and it hasn't even been a lap yet.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.1 seconds.
We come through this corner now, flat out. Now coming up to the double right-hander, using all the curb on the outside. We're actually going to go for a little bit, which sort of compromises us and leaves us vulnerable to George Russell overtaking us. But we're going to come home with George Russell right behind us, but we come home in P3 and we're on the podium for the Dutch Grand Prix. What a race it has been. We started P5 or P6, whatever it was, and it's Yuki Tsunoda who gets driver of the day. But what a race this has been.
What made the difference out there today?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
So it's Carlos Sainz who wins the Dutch Grand Prix, Max Verstappen in second place, and ourselves, Kevin Magnussen, in P3, which sees our podium finishes for today's race. So it has been a great race today. We had 2 safety cars, one which was our teammate who caused it. So now we're going to look at the driver standings, where Max Verstappen continues to lead the championship with 291 points, and then we've got Carlos Sainz in second place with 239, which sees a gap of 52 points between them. Then we look further down and we see ourselves overtaking George Russell with that performance, and we are ahead of the Mercedes driver by 2 points. And so we go up into P6, and now we look further down where Zhou Guanyu overtakes Gasly and Alonso, and he goes up into P8 now. And further down we look at our teammate in P11, who has 21 points to his name. And now we look at the constructor standings, where Red Bull continues to lead with 482 points, and then the Ferrari in second with 437, which sees a gap of 45 points between the two constructors, between the two teams. Mercedes still currently in third, which they'll probably stay in third. Ourselves in P4, we'll probably stay in P4. We've got 117 points. And then further down we've got Alfa Romeo, who's overtaken the AlphaTauris, and the Alfa Romeo are 3 points ahead. So that is it for today, guys. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a like. Please do subscribe down below for more racing based content, and I will see you guys in round 14 for the Italian Grand Prix in Monza, where hopefully we can beat our teammate once again.